Imagine navigating a world where unseen forces subtly steer your decisions, emotions, and perceptions. Every day, you're influenced by tactics so covert they escape your notice. But what if you could uncover these hidden strategies and reclaim control? Stay with me as we delve into the clandestine world of manipulation and learn how to recognize and counteract it. Imagine this. You're sitting in a quiet room with someone you trust, a partner, a close friend, or maybe a colleague. The conversation starts simply enough, maybe even kindly. They ask about your day or something trivial. But then, like a slow-moving fog rolling in, something shifts. They start by gently questioning your version of events. Are you sure that's what happened? It didn't seem that bad to me. Or worse, you always blow things out of proportion. At first, it's easy to brush off. After all, everyone remembers details differently, right? But gradually, these small challenges add up. The manipulator's voice becomes the background music of your mind, humming doubt and uncertainty into every memory you hold. Suddenly, what was once clear becomes murky. That time they insulted you in front of friends. Did it really happen the way you remember? Did they even raise their voice? Maybe you were too sensitive. Maybe you are overreacting. You start to replay conversations in your mind, second-guessing every word, every tone. Did they really say that, or did you just misunderstand? This is where the manipulator's true power takes hold. They don't need to shout or wave their arms. Their weapon is quiet, but devastating. They deny facts. That never happened. You're imagining things. They minimize your experiences. Come on, it wasn't a big deal. They twist the narrative. If you'd just listened to me, none of this would have happened. The goal is always the same, to reshape your perception of reality. And when that happens, they don't just control the story, they control you. You find yourself apologizing for things you didn't do, questioning your sanity, wondering if you've lost touch with reality. You lean on them for answers because the world inside your mind feels too uncertain. This process is rarely abrupt. It's a slow erosion of your confidence, like water wearing away stone. Each time you protest, they wear you down with gentle disbelief and dismissive smiles until your own memories feel unreliable. In that fog of confusion, you might reach for lifelines. But here's the catch. The manipulator has already weakened your trust in others too. They might say things like, "Your family just doesn't understand you. Your friends are always against me." They always twist things. And so you isolate. Alone in a maze of confusion, you start to rely on the very person who's trapping you there. That's the genius and the cruelty of reality distortion. But there's a way out. Your instincts, that quiet voice inside, still flicker beneath the noise. Listen to it. When you feel your reality slipping, reach for external validation. Check text messages, photos, or journals. Talk to trusted friends. Ask, "What do you remember?" Sometimes all it takes is one outside voice to remind you, "Yes, that happened. You're not crazy." Reclaiming your reality is an act of defiance and survival. Recognize the tactic, trust your gut, and remember, your memory matters. By advocating for the opposite of what they desire, manipulators exploit the natural human tendency to assert independence. For instance, telling someone they probably can't achieve a goal may spur them to prove otherwise. Awareness of this tactic allows you to make decisions based on genuine desire rather than reactive defiance. Offering a restricted set of options can create the illusion of autonomy while steering decisions. For example, presenting two undesirable tasks makes the less onerous one seem preferable, even if it's not the best choice. Expanding your perspective to consider alternatives can help break this illusion. Manipulators may evoke guilt to influence behavior, making you feel responsible for their discomfort or misfortunes. Phrases like, "After all I've done for you," are common. Recognizing undue guilt and setting emotional boundaries are key defenses. By amplifying minor issues into crises, manipulators create a sense of urgency that pressures quick decisions. This tactic bypasses rational deliberation. Pausing to assess the true significance of a situation can mitigate impulsive reactions. Excessive praise and attention, especially early in relationships, can be a strategy to quickly build trust and dependency. Once established, the manipulator may exploit this bond. Maintaining a healthy skepticism and pacing relationships can prevent undue influence. Deliberately ignoring someone to punish or control them can lead to anxiety and a desire to appease. Recognizing this as a manipulation tactic allows you to address the behavior directly or seek support. Bringing another person into a conflict to side with the manipulator can create feelings of isolation and self-doubt. It's important to trust your perspective and seek unbiased opinions when necessary. While praise is generally positive, over-the-top flattery can be used to lower defenses and increase susceptibility to influence. Being mindful of the intent behind compliments can help maintain objectivity. Creating a false sense of scarcity, like limited time offers, can pressure hasty decisions. Taking time to evaluate options critically can counteract this pressure. Using fear, obligation, or guilt to control behavior, such as implying abandonment if demands aren't met, is a form of emotional blackmail. Recognizing these threats and asserting your autonomy is crucial. Expressing insincere worry to influence decisions can mask manipulative intentions. Evaluating the consistency between words and actions helps discern genuine concern. Shifting blame to others to avoid accountability is a common tactic. Holding individuals responsible for their actions and not internalizing misplaced blame is essential. Portraying oneself as a victim to elicit sympathy and avoid criticism can manipulate emotions. It's important to differentiate between genuine distress and strategic victimhood. Removing negative conditions only after compliance can condition behavior. Recognizing this pattern allows for conscious decision-making rather than reactive compliance. Expressing anger or resentment through subtle digs or sarcasm avoids direct confrontation but still exerts control. Addressing issues openly can neutralize this tactic. Withholding love or approval to enforce compliance exploits emotional bonds. Understanding that affection shouldn't be conditional is key to resisting this manipulation. Making commitments without intention to follow through can be used to motivate behavior temporarily. Seeking consistent actions over words helps identify this tactic. Discouraging relationships with others to increase dependency is a control strategy. Maintaining a diverse support network is vital for autonomy. Exaggerating potential dangers to influence decisions leverages fear as a control mechanism. Evaluating risks objectively can mitigate undue influence. Painting an idealized future to gain compliance now, without intent to realize it, exploits hope. Demanding concrete plans and timelines can expose this tactic. Avoiding discussions or shutting down communication to sidestep accountability hinders resolution. Persisting in seeking dialogue or documenting concerns can counteract this. Introducing third parties to incite jealousy or competition manipulates emotions. Recognizing this ploy helps maintain self-assurance. Comparing someone unfavorably to others to induce inadequacy can motivate compliance. Focusing on personal growth rather than external comparisons is empowering. Creating situations where all choices lead to negative outcomes traps individuals. Identifying these setups allows for seeking alternative solutions. Constantly changing standards to keep someone striving for approval is destabilizing. Setting personal benchmarks and recognizing moving goalposts is crucial. Defending against accusations before they're made can dissuade confrontation. Trusting your observations and addressing concerns directly is important. Pretending not to understand to avoid responsibility delays resolution. Clarifying expectations and documenting communications can be effective. Offering something desirable only to replace it with something less favorable after commitment exploits trust. Verifying details before agreeing helps prevent this. Downplaying feelings to invalidate concerns discourages expression. Asserting the validity of your emotions is essential. Pretending incompetence to shift responsibilities manipulates goodwill. Encouraging independence and setting boundaries can address this. Bombarding with excessive details to obscure the truth confuses and distracts. Requesting summaries and focusing on key points aids clarity. Using personal hardships to garner sympathy and manipulate decisions takes advantage of empathy. Balancing compassion with discernment is key. Claiming to forget commitments to avoid obligations undermines trust. Keeping records and reminders can hold individuals accountable. Sharing selective information to mislead while maintaining plausible deniability manipulates perception. Seeking full disclosure and asking probing questions can reveal omissions. Creating problems only to solve them for praise manipulates recognition. Acknowledging genuine efforts over dramatized rescues is important. Using silence as punishment fosters anxiety and compliance. Addressing the behavior and expressing the need for communication is vital. Presenting issues as black and white choices limits options and pressures decisions. Exploring nuanced perspectives encourages balanced decision-making. Understanding these manipulation tactics empowers you to recognize and resist undue influence. By staying informed and vigilant, you can navigate relationships and decisions with confidence and autonomy. Remember, awareness is the first step toward empowerment.